As a single man, I remember before I began dating my girlfriend Courtney, I believed that I could go my entire life and be single and be okay with that. But the more and more I get to know her, every day I'm learning something new about her. Every day she's showing me things in myself that I thought that I was really good at. Let me tell you something. A person that is really a good fit for you as a person, they're going to reflect. There's a lot of things in our lives that we feel as though we may not have to address or we may not need to address. That person is going to reflect it right back to you. If you had an issue with your attitude, or if you had an issue with uh, apologizing, let's say for an example, it's going to show up in that relationship. At some point, you're going to say something to that person, and it's going to cause for them to show you. The question becomes, what are we going to do when we see that reflection? How are we going to be able to manage first of all, coming to the realization that that area of your life that you thought you were so good in, you're not that good. You need to improve in this area. Secondly, now that you've seen what you saw, will you improve in that area? Thirdly, how can you improve in that area and also be able to continually go through a self-improvement process? It's not like you're going to get to a point where you're not going to see anything wrong with you. And in the same token, you're not going to get to a point where you can't see an area in your partner or your mate or your spouse or your wife or your husband that they can't improve on. It's self-improvement. You both are working together to improve one another. And you're continually challenging one another. You're continually inspiring one another. You're continually encouraging one another. That's all this relationship thing is. And whether you like it or not, and you may be a person that is looking at this and saying, you know what, Joe, I'm fine with being single. But we're not fine with not having no relationships in our lives whatsoever. You have family, you have friends, you have someone, you have a dog, a cat, some sort of pet, you have a stuffed animal, you have something. Something is going to, as you're talking, you can talk to a stuffed animal. I can talk to this. This camera has not talked back to me since I've been talking to it. And I can talk right now, and I can, as I'm thinking through, as I'm talking through my thoughts, I can find something like, you know what? I don't like the way I said that. Or, that reminded me of a time when I had an issue saying what I just said. What gave me the courage to say it now? It's a self-reflection. Even if, some people make fun of people that talk to themselves, I think it's healthy. I don't have any research. I don't have any studies to confirm that. But I feel like if you can talk through your thoughts, sometimes it takes for you to articulate what you're thinking. And if you're in a relationship with someone, whether it be romantic, platonic, whatever level you want to put on it, sometimes it's good to be able to bounce those ideas off of something, whether it's your four walls of your apartment, whether it's the four areas of your car, or all, inside of your car, whatever it may be. Sometimes we need to talk through those thoughts. And when we talk through those thoughts, we find ways and say, you know what, maybe I could change up the way I said this thing, or maybe I could change up the way I did this thing. The thing that helps me with business, it causes for me to really think a little differently about situations. It causes for me to look at situations a little differently than I used to, because now I'm not dealing with just me. I'm dealing with people that's all around me, and people that are relying on me to do the things that I need to do. You see, when you talk to yourself, you're not just talking to yourself. When you're thinking things in your mind, that's not just you thinking. When you're hearing thoughts in your mind, that's not just you hearing your own thoughts. It's God talking to you. Sometimes it's the enemy talking to you. It's the devil's putting thoughts in your head. How do you filter all those things out? You got to get comfortable with knowing your own voice, knowing his voice, and knowing the enemy's voice. There are three different distinct voices. And it takes you to get to know you, it takes you to get to know God, and it also takes for you to recognize when the devil's trying to put some evil thoughts in your mind or remind you of things that you've already been forgiven for. It's time for us to be able to have that level of relationship, to speak those positive words, to continue reflecting what we're projecting. We're projecting a lot of things, but are we reflecting a solid reflection of what we're projecting? Please like, comment, subscribe to my YouTube channel. May God continue to bless every single one of you on this lovely Saturday.